Now, this is actually a very interesting presentation. I'm looking forward to it. We have a presentation lined up by Semanur Guneysu. I hope I pronounced it correctly. I think it's a very interesting one because I'm actually very involved with SOAR playbook development myself. It's an area that I'm actually very actively looking into. So I'm pretty excited to see what's going to happen and what's going to come. So without further ado, Semanur, I hand it over to you for your talk, and enjoy, everyone.
Hello, thank you, Eric. It was a nice joke, actually, and I laughed. And yeah, today I will talk about the designing playbooks with Purple Team approach. And I choose this topic actually because I have some Security Operations Center analyst experiences, and we all know that playbooks are supporting us in orchestration and automation, and supporting us to reduce our incident response processes. And also I've started interested in purple teaming, and that's why I will choose this topic, and I will start now. And who am I? I am Semanur from, I live in Turkey, and we can say that I have not, I am not senior in this area. I'm in cybersecurity, but I have a 3+ year experience, and as I said, I have some SOC analyst experience, and nowadays I'm acting as team leader and designing MSSP SOC services in our company. And I'm a beginner for purple teaming actually, because we were like a newly designed SOC. After designing other stuffs, we started to assess our security maturity, and I started to interested in purple teaming. And today I will talk about the 5W and 1H of purple teaming and in SOC, and to methodology that I designed, what are our requirements and tools, and why we need playbooks in our SOC or other blue team operations. And I have a short demo for this presentation. So we all know that Security Operations Centers have 3 main points, like people, technology, and processes. And as I said, we are in newly designed SOC, and we designed our team, I mean people, we designed our technology, and we started to design processes. And then we wanted to assess our cybersecurity maturity. I mean, how is our detection coverage to MITRE or any other attack framework? That's why I choose this question, where, and we are in SOC. And the next question is, why? So, as I said, our reasons to start purple teaming was, one of them was self-assessment. To self-assessment, we can do pen testing, red teaming activities, but purple teaming is also a good way to improvement your analyst skills and learning, teaching, and this hands-on experience can be a good starting point for your new security analysis. Also, the senior analysis can give some instructive points while doing some purple teaming activities. So what is the aim of why we talk about that, why we need this purple teaming? So to my mind, I developed some concept in purple teaming, and to my mind, I can explain purple teaming like is a set of operations who is responsible to improve a company's or organization's security maturity level. It can be both defensive and offensive approach. It can be both blue team and red teams. So purple teaming can be done while getting to know your organization. I mean, you can design some things, and after that, you get to know your organization adversaries or attack surfaces, and you do some purple teaming. So when we do purple teaming, actually, I pointed like continuous and on demand, but it can change. It may change for anybody. And with continuous, I meant that you can have some breach and attack simulation tools, and you can continuously do attack simulation and assess your detection coverage on your technologies or on your team. Also, you can just see and threat intelligence report and just wanted to see what is my situation in for this attack vector, and you can do just on-demand purple teaming for one specific attack vector. So who do purple teaming? As we know, in Security Operations Center, there are a lot of positions like threat hunters, SOC analysts, incident responders, and red teamers. But you don't have to have this designated titles in your SOCs. You just can use your team's skills and capabilities and give them responsibilities to show their capabilities. And you may not have specific red teamer experts, but in SOCs, some of the people can be interested in doing offensive things, developing offensive tools, or etc. So how we can start to do purple teaming? I designed a four-step methodology for that. The first point is planning the scope. Planning scoping is important for us because there are lots of attack vectors, lots of attack simulation tools, and we should focus one point. I mean, in which defense in depth layer we want to assess our cybersecurity maturity, or we want to assess our prevention or our detection algorithms, or we just want to do some hands-on experience. So we should narrow down the attacks in attack frameworks. So the second point is deciding the tools and requirements. Deciding tools can be good and can be done while assessing your technology. There are lots of tools in the wild, both commercial or open source free tools. You can use one of them, or you can, if you have some development skills in your team, you can implement a new tool. And the requirements are generally based on your data sources, technologies, and the other processes that you need to decide are our requirements. And third point are determining the technology methodology. After deciding your tools, after planning your scope, you should design the methodology which will be best suitable for your team and organization. And this methodology should be announced both blue team and red team. Also, the management should support you to do this purple teaming. And the fourth point is establishing roles and responsibilities. You may not have maybe experienced skills and capabilities or titles here. Maybe you may consider to take managed services for purple teaming. So our requirements, as I said, one of them is data sources, because you need data sources to analyze the logs, to determine that are we detecting these attacks. And the other requirement is attack simulation tools, which can be Atomic Red Team or Caldera or any stuff. And you need dedicated blue and red team. With dedicated, I meant that it can be ad hoc blue and red team. You just have some roles, SOC analyst roles, and you assign them to a blue team or red team. Also, you need time, obviously, and tracking process is another key point here because you need to track all the offensive operations or defensive operations to determine your maturity, to calculate your metrics or other things. Tracking process and documenting and reporting after the purple teaming activities will be good for in whole purple teaming process. And threat intelligence. You may have threat intelligence products, or just you can use open source threat intelligence. You can use threat intelligence vendors quarterly reports, or just use see a tweet, you see a Twitter, you see IOC on some Twitter accounts. And threat intelligence should be suitable your attack surface, and from previous experiences you can use your local threat intelligence. So today, for my demo and for my home lab, I used Splunk's Attack Range local platform, which is developed from Splunk Threat Research team. Thanks to them, by the way. I don't have this experience to develop my home lab, and I have some Splunk experience, and I saw this project. I started to use it, and they have 3 versions. One is Attack Range Local, which we will use today, and the other two are Cloud and Cloud Only One. In this local version, with Vagrant and Ansible, Attack Range Local creates virtual machines, which involves Windows Server domain controller, Windows Server Linux endpoint, and we have Splunk ES, Splunk CM tool, and Splunk Phantom is a SOAR platform of Splunk, and we have Kali Linux for offensive purposes. So the other technology we need today, I mean, in requirements, we say that we need technology, and the other is SOAR. To garner SOAR tools allows the people in Security Operations Center to define incident analysis and workflow formats. There are many tools in the market, like this, as I said before, like Splunk Phantom or the free tools, and they have they have many integrations, and they are developing day by day. Again, if you have developing skills, you can integrate your custom applications to your orchestration platform also. And we in Newly Associates maybe using SOAR at the first place is not a good idea, but after design your operations, after design your team, you can start to design your playbooks for maybe for basic triage events firstly, and then you can design complicated playbooks. What are the benefits of designing playbooks? Roughly, it's a standardized workflow for analysis. It gives a new analysis to not to design their own workflow. With this standardized workflow, your analysis can adapt easily your organization, and the senior analysis experiences can stay in your SOAR. So if they go somewhere else, I mean, if they change their jobs, you have still the acknowledge to workflow for your operation. And the boring in Security Operations Center, we all know that mostly we face false positives or reputable actions like email attachments, email attachments, analyzing. That's why this automated repeatable actions can save cybersecurity analysts' life. And if you have some threat intelligence, you can enrich your incident response procedure, and you can integrate your products or incident response feeds to your SOAR, and you can easily compare many threat intelligence sources. So for my for automation and orchestration, the key points are like that as to me. One is, as I said, threat intelligence, and the second is testing. Testing is important for designing playbooks because the technology and the actions and the source features is developing by day. That's why you need to test your playbooks, and you need to get the accurate result for that, because sometimes we need to cut the file. For example, we need to isolate the endpoint, or we need to cut the network of the critical server. That's why testing is important for designing playbooks. Tracking, another key point. Tracking means but is the difference with your playbooks versions, or can you combine another thing to your playbook? You can use local servers or cloud servers to track your playbooks history. And documentation is another key point, because as I said before, your analyst can change their mind, or they just want to go somewhere else. But if you have some documentation, this acknowledgement, the incident response processes in your organization will stay here. And the team team is another key point. With blue team or red team, you need people to work collaboratively. You don't need some war between blue team and red team. They need to willing to work together. So today's timeline, I designed a 6 steps timeline for designing playbook. Select the attack technique, define the data sources, execute the attack simulations, and analyze the logs. After that, design your playbook. In selecting attack technique, you can your team can select attack tactics and techniques due to threat intelligence or their experiences. After that, obviously, you need data sources for detecting specific attack techniques. Actually, if you don't have these data sources, maybe you can show the importance of which data sources you are needed for the determined attack technique. You can show the benefits of data sources to management, even if you can convince them to ingest these data sources, because sometimes, for example, endpoint logs can have many logs. That's why management sometimes cannot support this. That's why you can show the benefits of the whole process. After defining data sources, you can execute attack techniques with attack simulation tools or manually. And after that, blue team will analyze your CM and other platforms and implement detection logic for executed attack simulations. And then your cybersecurity engineering team implement the playbook that you designed after this whole steps. So today's attack technique, think that you don't have internal threat intelligence product and you don't have any information about that, you can just choose one of the most popular threat intelligence reports from the area. Today's I choose FireEye M-Trends this year's report, and as you can see, the Detect team from Rabobank mapped this report to attack navigation layer, and they scored the techniques with important ones, and I choose my attack techniques from this navigation layer. For today, I choose 3 attack techniques. One is create or modify system process Windows service technique, which is a tactic for which we can simulate persistence or privilege escalation tactics. And the second one is discovery. In discovery technique, I choose remote system discovery sub technique, and I will simulate this with attack range platform. And this the first one is the creation or modification of Windows system services. That's why for this we need endpoint logs, and it can, for example, if you take sysmon logs or endpoint logs, if you implement a detection logic to detect, create, or modify system process, you may have many false positives for from custom applications. That's why I choose a second attack technique, which will trigger our playbook for today. So if you don't have enough experience to choose data sources, you can use MyTrace website to determine data sources. For the first part, we need a command execution and process creation events or Windows registry creation events, and you should ingest these data sources to your log management or event management platform. For the second technique, we need again command execution logs or file access logs and network connection creation logs, or again process creation logs. So demo time, let's start. As I said, I used Splunk-Attack Range local today, and building a Splunk-Attack Range local, it can take 1 or 2 hours due to your internet speed. But for this demo, I developed just 3 virtual machines from Attack Range, and one is the Splunk server, the other is Phantom, the SOAR platform of Splunk, and the other is Windows 10 client. So after building your lab, it's easy to simulate the specific attack simulation. You just give a parameter with A and simulate the attack you determined, and you give a target. You give target, which is attack range Windows 10 here. And I simulated the first attack in my Windows 10 client. And this is the screenshot of simulating second attack in attack range Win 10 again. Actually, it builds easily because it installs atomic red team to determine target and then runs your simulation, and predefined configuration. With predefined configuration, your logs go to your Splunk server. And the attack range server also have app and dashboard for this. You can see that which attack simulation you did and on which targets you did, and also there are detailed MITRE IDs for for executed simulations. For our first attack technique, it generated a Windows event log, event security log in our Windows client, and you know that it was creating or modifying Windows services. That's why the command line is like sgconfig fx bin pad, and it changed Windows service fax to some PowerShell exe, and it modify our services binaries and bin pad. So for the second attack, which one is remote system discovery, also we as I said, we need Microsoft events logs here, and it generated sysmon logs, and the command line is like that, and NL test exam is used to discover remote domain systems in your organization. The first attack, as I said, can produce many events, many alerts in your CM. That's why we will write correlations for this event, and we will trigger our playbook due to this event. So these are our playbook. It's a Phantom editor, and I designed this in two parallel ways, and I integrated our Splunk-ES and Windows Remote Management and the Sandbox platform. Also, I integrated a notification mechanism, which is like here. And these are two parallel ways in Phantom. In the first action, I listed connections because after triggered this discovery, this remote system discovery events, I need to know that is this source connected to another important server in my organization. And if there's a decision point here, if one of these sources connect to my domain controllers, I need to inform my system admin or security admin to analyze the domain controller, because in playbooks we don't want to do restrict interactions on critical servers like domain controller servers. And after this manual task, this path ends. And the second, the parallelly, I get host events for the source. As you know, I triggered two events in this for this source. One was the create or modify Windows service. The other was the discovery service. And after I get this discovery event, I triggered our playbook, and it will get host events from our source. And there is a decision point again here, because we want to know that is there any modification services events in the source. So and if we have this modification services event, we will continue our path, and we will run query. In this query, I will get host on host file paths and file events. And after that, when I determined run query or when I determine file path, I will get the file from the source, and I will submit this file to our integrated sandbox platform. And there is also another decision point here. There is a threshold here like 90. If this file has threat score greater than 90, it will terminate the processes on this source and send messages to our platform. And if it's not if it's smaller than 90, it will hunt file across all organizations and it will post our data to ants. So that's all for today. And these are my resources. And if you have any questions, I need to, I want to answer. And it was a great experience for me. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Semanur, for your nice presentation. Very nice to see all of the SOAR and the playbooks, how you plugged it into to Phantom. We do have quite some questions. There was one question on the 5W1H method. I think we successfully responded to that one already. We do have a question from Dennis Ludna. What is the difference between your methodology and a cyber range? Um,
Actually, it's a known methodology. I mean, it's just it came from our experience from a security operations center. It can be called cyber range also, but maybe in cyber range we can think that it's kind of simulation and a learning and teaching platform for new analysts. Our methodology also supports this, but we have dedicated SOC security analysts in here.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's all terminology, of course. Yeah. What report was the MITRE TTP slide from? That was from Nathan Bordelon.
It was from M-Trends report from FireEye, and the DEC team on GitHub mapped this report to attack navigation layer.
Yeah, excellent. I have a few more. The MITRE tech report, I think we solved that one from Daniel Granville. What was the Python library called that was shown earlier for initiating the simulated attack task?
Actually, it was from Splunk's Attack Range platform. So I believe they implemented this tool. So I don't know which Python library, but it used Atomic Red Team simulation tool.
All right. Thanks a lot, Samuel, again. Very interesting presentation and an amazing contribution to our Purple Team Summit. Thank you.